on, guys? Crown Garage, back with another video. In today's video, do some work on the Talon. Let's get into it, and hopefully I don't have to put somebody on blast on the internet pretty soon here, because I gave him a 2-week deadline to get me my rest of my wiring harness, and that was a week ago today. Still don't have it. So yeah, still just sitting dead in the water unless I buy my own harness and do everything, and that's frankly just BS if I have to do that. So yeah, whatever. Shout out SRC, fellow Ohio people. Anyway, I'm gonna get that fan on the front of the radiator and try to hook it up to one of my M12 batteries, see which way I need to wire it. Probably just gonna wire it to a relay and a switch, so that can just be my secondary backup fan. Or possibly I'll do some sort of secondary wiring into the Hall Tech for it, but I don't really think it needs all that. For now, not gonna do anything other than just try to get it where I want it, so it's pulling air through on that side, because I just honestly kind of feel like if I don't do that, then there's a good chance this thing might overheat, just because of the fact that the radiator is so much more condensed than the factory like size is, because it has so much more extra room to make it wider. So, but it is a thicker radiator. So this is the fan, like I showed in the last video. Cut these stupid little bronze ends right off that thing, because we're not going to be using those. Be using a Deutsch connector. And yeah, so let's just probably loosen the intercooler, try to slide it in there and see if it fits.
What do you mean by that?
Alright, well, it actually looks like I already have this thing loose, so there's a good chance we could probably just pull it outward and try to sneak this thing in there. Alright, so we're just going to pull this whole intercooler off of here, because honestly, I don't think we're really gonna see this thing fitting very well. Like, see the fan fitting in here very well. So, plus, honestly, I think I'm gonna change the way that this thing's mounted, because it's actually an Evo intercooler. I hate the way that I decided to do it previously. So yeah, we're gonna definitely change that. If I reuse these brackets, I'm going to make them look not horrible, because it was temporary and then it wasn't temporary. So I also like to take this back off and redo this again, probably powder coat this time, because when I initially did it, I just did a crappy spray paint job, and I'm not a fan. I'd also like to do the hood latch too. So yeah, also for some reason this thing is just all like messed up on this car, and then like the thread piece is not even here in the rad support. I don't know, it's super weird, just very, very weird. But anyway, that's not the point, but this video might actually turn into that. So yeah, whatever, I'm gonna take this off now. Currently searching for a 10 mil. Big surprise there, right? Okay, my 10 mil might be elsewhere. It's good stuff. Keep track of your tools or they'll run away. Oh my God, who knows? Well, this one I'll do for now, then I'm gonna have to go on a side quest and look for it because I didn't find it. 12, 16, 21, 13, 14, 22, 24, 18, 9, 17, 15, 11, 19. Yeah, it's not here. Oh well. Trying at the moment to get this little guy off of here because with this whole thing out of the way, it'll be easier to get this bolt out that I decided to screw myself over on. For whatever reason, I decided to put that there like an idiot. I don't know why. So that's pretty annoying, but let's just hope that this thing wants to come out. This intercooler is a monster. So, but you know what, honestly, like, I think I did a video on this intercooler. I got a really good deal on it. So, I mean, it's a big unit. Like, it's probably going to support any power goal that I ever want to make. So, not too mad about that, to be honest. All right, guys. So I have the intercooler off. That was a pain to get off. That was a pain to get off. For some reason, they decided when they built these cars to make this bolt on the bottom and rivet to the top. I don't know why, but to fit that fan on the radiator, I need to trim some of this. So unfortunately, that's what I'm gonna do because I really think that added fan is gonna help a lot with this thing. So there's that. I'm gonna chop this off because I really honestly, it doesn't do anything. I mean, it's mounting to this flimsy piece of steel. I'm also gonna paint this when or possibly powder coat that when I take it out. I've had a really hard time mastering powder coating aluminum. So I want to try to attempt to powder coat some more aluminum stuff. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. If you see this and you know what the tricks are, comment below so you can help me out. But I'm going to drill these out and we're going to pull that thing out, probably try to get it sandblasted, sandblast that, and then try to restore this unit because it's in pretty rough shape. And I don't actually think it's really doing its job because the hood does not latch. So maybe the spring's worn out or something. So I'll have to see what we can do there. But I'm going to drill these, take this thing out, and then mock this up, trim it out for that. And then we will have 2 functioning fans, one here and one there. Now you might be asking, it looks like there's more room on that side. Well, unfortunately, I did make this thing pretty off center, but the further you get this way, this is basically as far as I could go because this comes up under here. So, just kind of is what it is. If the fan sticks out too far and the intercooler hits, I'm gonna have to make new brackets. But I have another bumper that I'm putting on this car, so I want to wait till I get that to make brackets and stuff. So yeah, we're gonna drill that. So I used my VHT wrinkle black paint, put a coat of primer on this sucker. This is the intake pipe, and man, it is crazy how good that wrinkle black looks. I mean, I absolutely love it. I think it looks pretty perfect. And right now, I got a coat of primer on the core support, radiator support thing. It's not perfect. There's some runs in it. This is like super uneven as it sits because, I don't know, it just kind of has been beat on over time. Me ripping that thing off bent this a little bit, so when I rivet it back together or whatever I do, you know, it's just gonna be what it is. So I did the pieces. I'm gonna try not to nick them up before I even put them on, but I attempted to powder coat it, and the powder coating gun was just being stupid, and it all built up and like looked horrendous. So I sanded as much of it off as I could. You can kind of see it still looks crappy, but once it's on there, you're never really gonna know. You're really never even gonna see it because the hood latch and everything. And then the piece that I was planning on trimming for the fan, I forgot to trim and painted it beforehand. It needs a spot over here trimmed out. I haven't really decided if I'm gonna use the small fan or not. I could use this for a transmission cooler on the Camaro when I get that going. I don't know the brand of this fan. I just got this fan from the guy that I bought the radiator from. It was like a like new sort of radiator. I mean, I've nicked it up pretty bad and stuff, but it was like barely ran on the car that it came off of. I ended up taking it out because I nicked this with a drill bit when I was drilling out those spot welds, and I was panicking because I was like, well, shoot, now I'm gonna have to get this radiator repaired. Well, turns out that this isn't actually a part of the core. This is just the top. As you can see, it's just like the mounting piece. No, like anything actually runs through the top and the bottom pieces. So there's actually no actual hole or like real damage. I am noticing though that there are some bends in this that I never really paid attention to previously, which kind of sucks, but I don't think should cause any real issues. A lot of the big like issues you see and stuff in this, like these big holes in the fins and stuff, is from fans being put through with the little fan installation things. But I've still yet to see an actual hole in the radiator anywhere. I might try to attempt to have it pressure tested or something just to make sure that it doesn't leak anywhere. So I think it's chilling. I mean, these are like $230, $250 radiator from Jags, Sirocco. It's like 17 by, I think it's like 17 by 12 and a half or so. The core overall length, I don't remember, but I did a video on installing this. I just used some little thread inserts, M6, and then, yeah, I mean, that's plenty to hold a radiator. I mean, most radiators in cars aren't even actually held in by anything other than like some sort of little like feet on the bottom. That's how the factory ones are held in on this, at least on the bottom. And a lot of cars just have like some little bracket that holds tension on the radiator, because I mean, it really doesn't need to be bolted down by any means, but that's besides the point. So what I might do is find like a super high CFM fan and end up using that on this radiator and not use the front piece. But I am glad that I did take that stuff off because it gave me a chance to finally give this a coat of filler primer and paint. Because as you can kind of see from a distance away, like I would have had to do a lot of work to sand all that paint off because it's so uneven on this. But I think if I do another coat of primer and then do a coat of white, you're really never even gonna see it. So I'm pretty happy with it. I'm gonna do another coat of primer right now, go inside, eat some lunch. I got work at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so I gotta be out of here by 1 something. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do another coat real quick of primer and then come back out here, do a coat of paint, and then that's probably when I'll dip out to go to work. Okay guys, so a little trick. I forget where I saw this because I watch a lot of car YouTube and stuff, but somebody at some point said instead of wasting your money on these junky things that literally just snap into pieces like this one did, use a zip tie and a washer like that, and well, go through the other side and then take another zip tie, which this is a pack of like 600 zip ties from Rural King. If you guys have a Rural King in your area, during the holidays or during sales that they have going on, they got these crazy bags of zip ties. And if you're a person that just cuts zip ties and redoes them every time like me, then you might find that handy. So there you go. I got these washers, zip tie, doesn't just rip right through them. This is a Mishimoto fan off of my Camaro. I really hope that this fits, but I'm not going to count on it. Once this dries and everything, and I can try to set the radiator back in this thing, that's what I'm going to do. But I don't think that it's going to clear the turbo. But this is a 1600 something CFM fan, so if I have to buy a slim fan, it is what it is. But I really hope I can just get away with that and that one on the backside. But yeah, this is an easy trick that is very cost effective and honestly stronger, even though, and honestly better, because the way that the zip tie fits through the fins, it doesn't just wreck them like these things do, because they're round and have these little things on them. But anyway, if you disagree, I don't care. It'll be fine. I've already tested it. Now I'm just perfecting it. So all right guys, well, after a lot of bad times, by that I mean I had to sand all of this down and aircraft remover, the whole shebang, because the paint I decided to use was really old. So I went and bought one of these nice cans with the different adjustable spray patterns. And man, I wish I would have just spent the $10 on a new can originally. Just did my second coat. I think once this dries, we'll do one last once over on it, and hopefully it comes out looking nice. Haven't really decided what I'm gonna do yet with all this that I had to drill out for this bracket that goes back here. But I'm kind of thinking probably use rivets. I think that's going to be the best case scenario. It's probably going to look the best. So I was thinking riv nuts, but if I use riv nuts, I'll have to put 8 bolts in a bracket that is not even of structure really or any importance, is never going to do anything in an accident. So I don't know, But let this paint dry, see how this turns out, and we're gonna move over to assembling our seat. Okay, so last coat of clear is on. This is looking fresh. So once this is done, probably over the weekend, I'll pull all the blankets and stuff out of here, and anything that I got overspray on like this, I mean, it doesn't really matter, but I'm probably just gonna acetone it, get it off, and then I'm going to start the process of doing all of this, because I had paint stripper that dripped down in here and ruined the paint that I did not long ago. So may as well just redo it and make it look nice. So she's getting all the right treatment, I guess. Bolts, seat bracket. Let's bolt this together. And man, I tell you what, it is it's a really beautiful day out here in Ohio in January. The sun's out, and got these weird streaks in the sky. Camaro's sitting here chilling. Engine sitting here chilling. Hopefully this year is the year of the LS for the old rig. Like a 88 turbo on this thing or something crazy. Yeah, that's just hopes and dreams. If I could win one of those Cletus turbo giveaways, that'd be pretty awesome, you know, considering I've entered so many times and never won anything, but I never win anything, so it's all right though. Let's put the seat together. All right, guys, so I'm back a couple days later. We got some crispy white paint, and I didn't film it, but I redid the whole course port area, taped everything off. Turned out pretty amazing. What's going on, guys? So I'm here editing this video, and I just want to say that if you're ever trying to repeat this process where you want to spray paint your course port and your upper radiator support areas, I would highly recommend that if you are to drill out the spot welds and remove the stuff that is there, I would definitely recommend riveting it back in before you paint it and taping it up, because I unfortunately made the mistake of not doing that, and when I went to rivet it, the rivet gun slipped off and destroyed my paint job. So as I'll explain in the future of this video, I decided to try to fix it real quick, and what that turned into was an even bigger mess, because I tried to fix the section that I painted white, and I didn't tape off the bottom section that I did black, and that resulted in white overspray getting on the black area and just ruining the whole thing. So unfortunately, you live and you learn. It's just the kind of stuff that you have to move on from and try to just make it better again. So I think this will be my third time repainting this, because I'm stupid and didn't fix it the right way the first time. So fix it the right way the first time, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I really appreciate 630 subscribers, I think. So, as you guys saw, I put my seat on this planted seat bracket. Well, I just want to go on record saying that, hold on, let me turn my flash on. just want it to go on video that my car is a complete mess. But this is how this bracket lines up. You can't force the front down. This side of the rear sort of lines up. Not even close. So then, you know, there's really just no way to make it fit. So I made a post in one of the DSM forums, and apparently lots of people have had this issue. But it's not just an all-wheel drive issue. It's a all DSM issue. I've talked to multiple people that have given the same exact thing. So this is no shade at Planted, by the way. And as I'm saying in this clip, but I just want to voice over it because I didn't have my mic on. They offered to make me a custom bracket. I just really honestly saw from a lot of people that like somebody that was 5'9", their head was almost hitting the ceiling, and I can't have that because I'm taller than that, and I'm gonna have to have a helmet out in this car, so I'm gonna have to figure out a very low bracket. Shout out to Bobby at FIBA Motorsport. He is going to be developing a bracket soon, so I just wanted to shout him out because he's a really cool dude. I go to him for a lot of stuff involving DSMs because he knows so much. So go to FIBA Motorsport, get you some stuff for your 1G, 2G, Evo, whatever, because he's got a lot of crazy stuff that is really just awesome developments for DSMs, stuff that you can't get anymore. So, like I said, no shade at Planted. Okay, so I'm gonna end this video off here. Now you might be asking yourself, thought you already painted it. Funny story. Well, I was going to rivet this piece on. That is a mounting piece for the hood latch. Along with this piece, same thing. So I drilled the factory spot welds out. Well, so the funny story that's not so funny and made me almost have a crash out is, well, so basically, I was going to pop the rivet in, and I was like, yeah, these rivets seem kind of small, but they're pretty close to the right size. Don't ever do this to yourself. So I went to pop it in, and basically I hit and gouged this here, and so my super great wonderful paint job was ruined. So then I pulled the radiator out and stuff, not even thinking about it at all. What did I do? I started just shooting a little tiny couple of just over it just to fill it in, and then I was going to clear back over it, and I had taped it off like that. Didn't cover this up, so then that got splattered with white paint, and even though you're not going to see it, that doesn't matter because it still bothers me. So basically then I ground a bunch of just grinded it all off, and that was really hard to spit out for some reason. And then, so basically, I did all that, all for, basically to decide, I'm going to try to shoot some white on it. Well, I didn't evenly get it all off, so there's still primer, and it's super uneven, and it just turned out horribly. So now, I'm going to do this the real right way, and actually use masking paper And as you can see, mask everything off so I don't have to be like afraid of overspraying, and I can properly do this. So I'm gonna put the masking paper on the floor. I'm gonna put it everywhere. And I mean, I had the blue shop towels on the floor before and they did a good job, but is what it is. So we're gonna basically just redo the whole thing, and that'll be in the next video, because we're calling it quits for the day now that I work a different shift at work. Like I've said before, I just can't really get a ton done. So it's all right though. I think we're at a good point now. We are going to be getting our, we're going to be getting our, starter harness pretty soon here. Thank you to Chris Duncan, I think was his name. I made a post on one of the DSM groups, and he shipped me one for free of charge. I just had to pay for shipping, which is really cool. Not a lot of people that'll do stuff like that nowadays, so you gotta appreciate the ones that will. You know, he had a spare and he hooked me up on that, so shout out to him. And so once we get that, I am thinking that I will not have to call out the harness maker by name, because I am supposedly getting my partial refund to pay for another harness today or tomorrow. Today was the deadline I gave originally. Then I said I'll extend it to this Friday. Being, I think this Friday is like the 16th or something like that. Possibly, maybe it's the 17th. I don't know. Anyway, so see what happens. I can't force anybody to do anything, but what I can do is say that I'm going to get on the internet and put you on blast for not returning something to me that is rightfully my own. So we'll just see what happens. Thanks for watching. See ya. In audio.